Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Truly another gift from God that we are alive and that we are well. Today we're going to talk about how to bury your old self and become undeniably unstoppable. And it all starts with acknowledging the death of your past self, because you can't evolve correctly while clinging to comfort that you find satisfaction in, if that makes sense. Most people never evolve because they cling to comfort and they cling to that short-term satisfaction. So you have to sit back and look at what you've done in the past and understand why you need to kill your past self, because I believe you have to do that first in order to truly ascend above your past and to build an undeniably wealthy and prosperous future. So without further ado, let's dive in. So guys, first things first is you must kill your old habits. And you know what habits I'm talking about, the habits that push you further away from God and that push you away from your ideal self, the person that you could be. You have to ask yourself, right, when you look at the future version of yourself, what habits does he have? Does he do every single day? You have to understand those habits and you have to implement them into your own life. It's called reverse engineering. You're looking at the success and the man that you want to be in your future, do everything that man is doing in that future, and you can implement all of that into your current life and what you do daily. Because eating incorrectly, skipping the gym, not honing your fighting ability, not putting all of your effort in towards making money online and towards building a profitable business, you need to start doing these things every single day, because as time passes on, you can never get that time back. So the more time passes on, that's time you're not directly spending implementing a solution that works. And it doesn't matter if you fail or win, brother. What matters is that you're trying, and you're trying your absolute hardest to make something work and change something in your life for the better. So obliterate your past self. That's no longer who you are anymore. You are now the man who has that freedom, who has that finances, who's doing everything correctly, who's doing whatever he's supposed to do. You are that man now. Next is building a warrior mentality. So you need to have an undeniable physical presence, which comes with mental strength and physical strength as well. You must be hitting the gym or doing some sort of physical activity where you can operate on a vibrational frequency, where you can receive that information and that success that you want to achieve. Because if you don't have the body, you don't have the mental resilience, you don't have the physical resilience, how can you expect God to bring all of that success and to push you and to trial you, to bring you some tribulation so you can ascend over and basically get victory over, if you don't have a solid foundation? The foundation is the start of everything. If you're trying to build a skyscraper of your life and your foundation is not solid at all, it's going to crumble. If you want to achieve many things in life, your foundation has to be undeniable. It has to be concrete. It has to be made out of obsidian, right? And the way you do this is by your body and your mind is this foundation. So you must be pushing it and doing uncomfortable things every single day. I mean, you can do the ice bath if you want. Personally, it's not for me, but whatever. Maybe when I'm fighting, I'll do the ice bath. But yeah, I remember like a couple of years ago, or even last year, I'd have all these habits, right? I'd eat incorrectly, I'd skip the gym. I wouldn't spend my time doing what I'm supposed to do. I wouldn't spend my time building a profitable business. I'd spend my time going out and having fun with friends who are just a detriment to me, friends who are smoking weed, friends who are not pushing me to be the best version I can be. So once you realize like these habits that strip you away from the freedom that you so heavily desire, and you push those out of your life and you implement things that only make you better and that only make you ascend, then you can start seeing real change for what you want to achieve in this life. So having a physical presence, having an amazing body and amazing mind, that's basically the mind and body of a warrior, is what I believe undeniably important for achieving the success that you want to achieve, because success is subjective. It is, at least for the success that I want to achieve. I have to have a strong body. I have to have a strong mind. I have to have all of these things. So you have to ask yourself what your definition of success is. What do you genuinely want to do with your life? And develop your habits and your goals in every second of your life towards achieving that. So like some things that help me like get back on track is I used to hit the gym actually in the middle of the day or even the afternoon or sometimes like at midnight, like super late. But what helped me gain a clearer mind and to gain some more clarity is actually hitting the gym as soon as I get up. So what I do is as soon as I get up, brother, I change into gym clothes. I go straight to the gym. Right now, it's actually a horrific gym. It's like 2 treadmills and dumbbells that only go up to like 12 kg or like 30 pounds for US folks, or I'm US too. But it's a pretty shitty gym, I'll be honest. It's not the best, but we still get it done. Today, I actually worked out for about an hour and I ran 1.5 miles. So working out in the morning, it clears my mind, because as I take these sales calls that I have every single day, It puts me in a position where I'm the best version of myself. I'm ready. I'm a killer. I'm a warrior. And I'm ready to attack this call to the best of my ability because I've already worked out for the day. I've already done what I'm supposed to do. I've already struggled a bit in the morning. And that just sets the rest of the day up for myself so I can just operate at the best frequency I can possibly operate on. That's why I love working out in the morning. I also don't eat in the morning. I usually eat around 5 to 6 hours after I wake up. And then it's usually a light meal. I usually have like Greek yogurt, something light that has protein. And then at the end of the day, once all the calls are done, once all the work is finished, and then I'm winding down for the day, then I feast, then I have some meat. Currently, it's actually not been the best as it could be because I'm actually in Koh Samui right now. And the only restaurant I found like on this delivery app that I use is Burger King. And I'm like, well, okay, let's make the best of the situation. Usually I don't have this, but I enjoy some fast food every now and then. So what I have, I think last night I ordered like this like a normal burger with like 3 patties on it and cheese and some fries. So I have lots of protein. I'm still in a deficit because I ate a light meal the morning before. So I'm still burning fat and not burning fat. I'm still in a caloric deficit, so I'm losing fat. And I'm still getting my protein in, which is awesome. So just do whatever you can to succeed, right? The next thing, which kind of goes back to the first thing we mentioned, is just completely eliminating short-term satisfaction and extreme comfort from your life. I'm not saying don't have fun with your life. I'm not saying it's okay to relax once in a while, okay? What I'm saying is don't let it control your life, okay? But what I do is I do something uncomfortable every single day, like going to the gym every single day, running, doing Muay Thai. I make sure to do something uncomfortable that challenges myself, that challenges my mind and my body so I can grow and so I can at least become 1% better every single day. Because at the end of the day, gentlemen and ladies, if you're not excelling and you're not actively growing, like think of life as a rocket ship. You always want to be accelerating upwards, but it doesn't just stop midway, correct? It keeps on going. It's the same thing with life. If you have these big goals and dreams for yourself, you can't stop midway. It doesn't work like that because if you're stopping, you're not growing, you're not excelling. And if you're not excelling, you're not changing and you're not directly implementing a plan to get you where you want to be, if that makes sense. So you must be moving with speed. That's undeniably important because if you're not, you're staying the same, right? And if you're staying the same, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So, of course, everyone wants money. Everyone wants success, right? But think of money as a scoreboard for yourself and for your life. But like the discipline and the consistency are the game. The motivation dies and falls. It doesn't matter if you're motivated or not. And if you're operated on like a high vibrational frequency, you can start to understand this. Motivation doesn't matter. It's the people who actually maintain their discipline and their consistency in their life towards achieving their version of success. That's what separates them from the NPCs. That's what separates them from the normality of all the other NPCs in this world, because it doesn't matter how they feel, they get shit done. And that's the most important thing. If you take away anything from this video, it doesn't matter how you feel. In fact, no one cares how you feel. No one does. Only you, brother. No one genuinely cares about you. It's actually only yourself, because no one's going to push you as hard as you push yourself. No one is going to want to achieve that success that you have for yourself as bad as you do. You are the one that controls your destiny. You are the one that controls your future. You are the one that dictates and decides if you want autonomy and freedom in your life. You are the one that decides how many children you want to have, right? How big of a family you want, where in the world you want to live. Like, you decide all of these things. So if you haven't been operating at that frequency of life, you probably should start pretty soon, because guys, as time passes on, like the window to actually generate copious amounts of money is closing. And you have to understand this. Like, you're not always going to have time. Time is the one thing you don't get back. You have to spend as much of it as possible as you can towards being that man that you want to be, creating and curating that future that you want to achieve. So I actually made a video on this a couple weeks ago, I think, or maybe last week, about this Trump coin pump. And in this video, I asked everyone who was watching, do you deserve this wealth that you want to have in your life? You have to ask yourself, like, am what I'm doing every single day, am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Do I even deserve this wealth into my life? Will God see the hard work that I am putting forth into my life, and will He reward me or will He punish me? Do I deserve this? You have to ask yourself these questions, because once you start to understand and you can answer these questions, then again, you can go back to reverse engineering the man that you want to be. Because if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, God's not going to reward you because you haven't put in the work to actually receive it. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. It's the same thing. If you're putting in the work, God will reward you for that. Or if you look at it from the other side of things, let's say you made copious amounts of money with this Trump coin and you weren't doing what you're supposed to do, right? You're just a complete loser, an NPC, right? You're not doing what you're supposed to do and you made a whole bunch of money with it. You can kind of think of it as a punishment because, guys, money amplifies who you are. You must build yourself up to the man that you want to be, then the money will come in. You must have that physique. You must have that fighting ability. You must be able to communicate properly. You must be good at sales, just depending on your business route. But it amplifies who you are. Money does. And if you're a loser, you're an NPC, it's going to amplify that. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And the next thing, it kind of goes without saying, but stop caring what others think, right? Seeking validation from people, it just keeps you average. Again, that goes back to what I was saying earlier about it doesn't matter what they think, brother. You're the only one who's going to push you as hard as anybody else. You are the one that controls your future and your destiny. It's the same thing. And the final thing that I have to share with you all is that the power of faith and relentless belief towards God and towards Christianity, or if you're Islam or if you're Muslim, then towards Allah. It's the same thing. And actually, before I dive into that, you guys have to understand the ginormous difference between a dream and a reality, or between a plan and its execution. If there's no actionable steps for you to do each day, how can you expect to get to the goal that you desire, to the success that you want, if you're not doing daily inputs or daily tasks that actually get you there? You can't expect that. It doesn't work like that. You have to have a tangible plan for what you want to do. And that goes back to saying with reverse engineering your habits and your success and what that future version of you actually does every day. Because it's stupidity and it's insanity to think that the difference between that dream and that reality is so minuscule, because it's not. It's actually ginormous. And for the people that can fathom that difference and they can visibly articulate how big that difference is, and they can actually do daily tasks and inputs that bridge that huge gap. But for the people that can't fathom that gap, who always think to themselves like the NPCs, I want success, yeah, I want all the stuff in my life, I absolutely do, but they can't fathom that huge difference that has to happen. They can't fathom that action that needs to have, that undeniable action, that unparalleled action towards achieving that life. They can't fathom it, but for the people who can, for the people that can fathom that ginormous difference, that's what bridges the gap, and then they can implement daily, weekly, or monthly tasks to actually get to that goal. It's a protocol, it's a procedure. Without those protocols and plans, you have nothing. You have to have an idea of where you want to go and how to get there. So the next thing is like the power of faith and relentless belief. So guys, motivation dies. You have to have something that's bigger than yourself. That's what I believe. I believe you have to have something bigger than yourself to push you harder than you can push yourself. So I have faith in God. I have unshakable and undeniable faith in God, in my vision and my purpose. And I believe God anchors me through all times of hardship and through times of when adversaries are my foes, because without God, I truly have nothing, and I honor everything I do to His name. I've actually been blessed time and time again. And you have to think about this for a second, because some of this, I can promise, will galvanize you into action or shock you into action. It's God has given you so many blessings that you cannot see. There's actually a story about this that I love to share. It's about the sower. And Jesus was talking about the seeds, and think of these seeds as humans, or all these seeds are characterized by the edifice of what people believe in. They're each individual people. I'll actually read it word for word because I don't want to mess this up. Okay, this is a bit long, but it's extremely important what I'm about to say. So I promise, just stick with me, I promise. So the parable of the sower with Jesus. So, and He told them many things in parables, saying, behold, the sower went out to sow. And as he sowed, some seeds fell beside the road, and the birds came and ate them up. Others fell on the rocky places where they did not have much soil, and they sprang up immediately, because they had no depth of soil. But after the sun rose, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. Others fell among the thorns, and the thorns came up and choked them out. But the others fell on the good soil and yielded a crop, some 100, some 60, and some 30 times as much more. The one who has ears, let them hear. Listen then to the parables of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what has been sown in his heart. This is the one sown with the seed beside the road. The one sown with the seed on the rocky places, this is the one who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy, yet has no firm root in himself, but is only temporary. And when affliction or persecution occurs because of the word, immediately he falls away. And the one sown with seed among the thorns, this is the one who hears the word, and the anxiety of the world and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. But the one sown with seed on the good soil, this is the one who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and produces some 100, some 60, and some 30 times as much more. Basically, guys, what I'm saying is this parable explains how different people respond to hearing the word of God and what they choose to do with it. With only these words, with only those who receive it on good soil and who are receptive and have a faithful heart, those people are the one who yield a spiritual fruit, whose tree of life bears that fruit, if that makes sense. And that's what I'm talking about here. You need to position yourself in a way where you are the seed who falls in that good soil, who bears good root, who has firm root in himself, who doesn't hear the word of God and falls on deaf ears and doesn't do anything with it, who understands the word but is choked by the anxiety and the deceitfulness of wealth in the world. You must position yourself in a way and hone your relationship with God where you are the seed that falls into the prosperous and the healthy soil, where it bears firm roots, where you have firm conviction with yourself and conviction with Jesus and God, where you can allow his word and his wisdom to penetrate your mind and you can receive it with the most open of heart. Because when you allow yourself to do that, you can start seeing the signs that the Lord gives you and the blessings and the trials he gives you in his life. And once you're able to see these things, then you can just allow and hone your relationship even further with God. So you can learn and start honoring everything you do towards him, guys. Because without faith, I believe, without faith, you truly have nothing. If you're not fighting for some higher purpose, for some omnipotent and transcendent and all-knowing being like Jesus Christ, then I believe life is pointless. Because what are you doing it for? Because your faith in God, your faith in your vision, who is backed by God, and your purpose, this faith will anchor you through the tough times which you are undeniably about to face in your life. Because you cannot expect to receive the success without undeniable and strenuous and inexhaustible effort on your end. You will face adversaries, I can promise you that. You will face trials and tribulations, which God will give you. But God will not give you anything you cannot handle. He will give you struggles in your life which you can overcome and learn from. When you ask God for patience, do you expect just an all-knowing sense of clarity to come over you like a shroud and you have all this clarity all of a sudden? That's not how it works. For every action, again, there's an equal and opposite reaction. God will test you with a trial. And after you win over that trial, then you will gain some patience. That's how you gain things from God. When you ask for these things, he will tempt you. He will give you struggles. Whether you overcome on those struggles will determine the man that you want to be and the man of God that you are. You have to live a life, if you are operating on this level of faith that you have in God, you have to be righteous. You have to embody the Holy Spirit with every fiber of your being, because if you don't, then what are you doing it for? If you call yourself a Christian and you don't embody everything you do, you don't live a truly righteous lifestyle in the honor of God's name, then what are you doing it for? I wanted to add something to that video when I was explaining more about God and the blessings that you have. So a lot of you are unaware, like the true amount of blessings you actually have in your life. You have both arms. You have both legs. God gave you strength. He gave you a strong will. He gave you all these desires. He planted all these thoughts in your mind and in your heart. And basically, because I used to do this, I'm not bashing on anyone because I did this as well. And right now I'm still currently overcoming this temptation. It's like he's given you such great things, and all he asks from you is just a prayer. All he asks from you is just a devotion to read the Bible, to honor his name, to spread the word of God to other people. That's all he asks of you. He's already given you so much blessings in your life that you can't even count them. He's given you a family that loves you. He's given you this strength, this patience, this drive in your heart that you want to be great. He's given you such great things. And basically, what I'm saying is if you let these temptations control you, if you let laziness and drunkenness control you, you're basically spitting in God's face saying, you know what? I don't appreciate the blessings that you have given me. I'm going to pursue these temptations and pursue this evil that has a complete detriment on my life and just completely neglect you. But the good thing about God is that you can be forgiven. Well, it doesn't matter what you do. If you're truly passionate about asking for forgiveness, you shed a tear for the forgiveness that you want to receive. That's what Jesus Christ died for. You have to understand this. Then you can always be forgiven. But even if you fall to temptation, which that's what Jesus is there for, you fall, let's say, into laziness or into drunkenness, he will give you second chances, maybe even third chances. He will try to pull you out of the darkness time and time again. And if you keep on resisting, if you keep on pursuing these sinful and evil and heinous acts and heinous and wicked things, then eventually you will be punished. And you'll be punished in ways that are unfathomable to the human mind if you completely neglect what God is trying to tell you. And if you can see the blessings that he has given you and you honor it to his name and you leverage the strengths and the guidance and the knowledge and the characteristics that he has given you, then he will look down on you and he will smile. That's all I wanted to say. My friends, that wraps up the video. I really enjoyed making this one. I kind of enjoyed this quiet, cinematic. I think I actually talked pretty loud. I might have woken up my neighbors. It's like 11:45 p.m. But it was an absolute enjoyment making this video. I don't really make too many videos like this anymore. I used to make lots of videos like this, of talking raw like this. But I really enjoyed making it. I cannot wait to make more like this. So if you enjoyed it, definitely let me know in the comments and see if I should start making more videos like this. If you enjoyed me talking the way I'm talking now, and like you just basically enjoyed the whole framework of this video. But if you're looking to break free, then connect with me on Instagram, and then we can have a talk there and see if you're willing to give that reality of yourself, or if you're willing to give the reality of you being successful, of you having that financial freedom, of you strengthening and becoming the warrior, a part of a vanguard that you know you should be a part of. If you're interested in that, contact me on Instagram. We can get in touch. But other than that, my friends, it was an honor making this video. I wish you health, wealth, and prosperity in your life, and I wish God to open your hearts to receive his word with the utmost clarity and comprehensive understanding. I will see you all in the next video.